Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Queen Sugar Season 3, Episode 8, and the name of this episode is Come Clad in Peace. This was a really good episode, and Charlie is making some serious breakthroughs in this whole situation that she had found out last week about what the Landrys are trying to do with building this private jail in St. Joe's. And also, the tensions are still there between Ralph Angel and Darla. And Darla, I'm coming for that ass. So let's begin. The episode begins with Prosper. Prosper has been evicted from his home, but Prosper has not packed up anything. He's supposed to be setting things up where he's supposed to be staying with his sister Billy. And, Charlie comes over. She sees that he hasn't packed up anything, but he actually has, Sunday brunch with Vi, so he goes to see Vi. And while he's gone, Charlie, Nova, and Ralph Angel are over there helping to pack up his things. And while they're packing the things or whatever, Nova talks about that she has a friend in environmental services, so to find out was Jacob telling the truth about that whole situation with the EPA. So she says she has a friend in DC and she's gonna visit her. She's gonna visit and find out, the truth about what's really going on. Is there really mercury in the soil? And then, Ralph Angel talks about, he's, gonna be setting up a schedule with Darla and everything, trying to, work things out between the two of them, for the sake of Blue. Now, Charlie gave him a gem. She said that 1, make sure that the schedule's fair. 2, make sure it's about Blue. And 3, keep your emotions out of it. Because she did have a good thing, between her and Davis, when they were both co-parenting Micah until Davis fucked it up. So she gave him some good advice and he said, yes ma'am, I'm going to try my best. But we know how Ralph Angel is. When Ralph Angel feels some kind of way, it shows and he can't let it go. So while they're packing up his stuff, Prosper is meeting with Vi. Vi knows what's going on, and Prosper is still, showing his pride and saying that, look, I got my own situation. I'm gonna handle my own affairs and everything's fine. But Vi was like, look, Charlie done told me everything, and I want you to know that you can come to us. We're your family. You've been friends with this family for far too long for you to feel that you can't come to us with anything. We're your family. So we kind of see Prosper is kind of in the same space where Ernest was years ago when Ernest was thinking about taking his life, where everything was stacked against him. Prosper feels the same way, and my heart went out to Prosper in this episode because you really see that he feels that his whole life he has worked and strived for that land and for his property. And now it's literally, but now everything that he's been trying to do has been ripped right from under him. And you can't even imagine the kind of pain that will do to a man. But I literally felt it, and I have to say they really portrayed that very well. But what ends up happening is that they packed up all his stuff, they put his stuff in storage, and we see that, he's sitting out in the yard like he normally does. And Charlie goes to join them, and she lets him know that, okay, we got everything taken care of. So when is Billy coming to pick you up? And Billy was his sister. And he said, I didn't call her. She got her own life. She got her family. She got her kids. I'm not trying to be a burden on her. And I'm not trying to be a burden on anybody. I'm just going to rent me a room or something. And Charlie was like, oh, no, you will not. She said that, no, your family, we're going to look out for you. So you can come stay with me and Micah. And he was like, oh no, I can. She's like, no, I want you to come stay with us. And I'm not taking no for an answer. And I'm not leaving here without you. And then he kind of just gave this look like, just as stubborn as your daddy. And she was just politely, well, thank you. I thought that was a very touching moment. Because they do have like a father and daughter kind of relationship, and it's great because Prosper, in a way, has become somewhat of like an uncle or father figure to all of them, you know. And this was one of their father's closest friends, you know. So we see that that they take that, and so pretty much we see that, yeah, she takes Prosper to go stay with her and Micah. Oh yeah, and let me discuss Micah real quick. Micah is out with the crew, you know, Ant and the boys, and Micah had took pictures about, you know, that day they went to that, you know, plantation, which was like a museum, and they literally kind of created like a replica of what it was like to be in those times during slavery. You know, the black people in chains, you know, the whole 17 and 1800s, you know, dress and aura. You know, when they were looking at the pictures, all of their emotions started to get, you know, rattled again, because when you look at the pictures, even for me, it looks like, you know, it looks like the 1800s, like it looks like the days of slavery, and you see it in the photos. So when they're looking at the photos, it brings out all this anger. They're saying that, look at this crap. They are literally playing this like it's okay. And then you have a picture of these two white kids taking selfies at the plantation. He's saying that this stuff has been so ingrained that they think that this is normal, and they're crapping on our ancestors and who pretty much built that plantation. They're pretty much being disrespected, and here it is, they're glorifying slavery. They're glorifying, you know, white supremacy, which is true, you know. I mean, definitely, you know, but this definitely, you know, instills so much anger, and it's the one in the fro. Normally, Ant is the outspoken one, but this time it's the one with the fro who's really speaking his mind. I don't know his name, but, you know, the brother with the afro, he was the one that was real adamant. No, we got to do something about this. This is something that we can't allow to continue. We need to make a statement. We need to do something. So they decide they are going to vandalize the place with spray paint, posters, or whatever. They're going to vandalize the whole plantation, you know, because it's a museum. So, and it closes at 8. So they making a plan. They going to go in there in this operation, and they ask Micah, was he in? Micah gets a playback of everything he's been through, you know, dealing with the police and, you know, being discriminated against. So Micah says he's in, and I'm like, Micah, this is not going to end well for you, because you are probably going to be the one that's going to be somewhat the fall guy. And, you know, and we just seen that, you know, since Micah's been in St. Joe's, he's been dealing with a lot. So, but I was just saying that, look, you need to kind of get back with Kiki, get back in your studies and do what you got to do. These kids are going to lead you down the wrong path, because even though I agree with their intentions, the way they're going about it is wrong. What they're doing is wrong, and they're trivializing everything, because by you doing this, you know, you're pretty much vandalizing property. So if you get caught, they're going to throw the book at your asses, and it's not going to be nothing pretty. But Micah decided to go. He wants to be down because, one, he likes them because they're kind of speaking some of his feelings. Some of the things that he's been dealing with, they're speaking to that. So it's easy for him to kind of be gullible and go along with these guys, because he's now in public school. He's in a new environment. And, you know, right now, he likes the fact that they're very aggressive and they stand for what they believe in, but yet they don't really think things through either, because by them doing this could set them back rather than push them forward. And there are more creative ways to make a statement than vandalizing someone's property. So, yeah, we've seen that right now that's not going to be good. But then we see Prosper get set up, you know, we see that, you know, Prosper gets set up into the house. You see that Micah's happy for him to be here. for him to be there. They, Micah, try to tell him that, you got the TV, you got Blu-ray, you got all this. He's like, man, I don't want to know all of that. Just turn on 356. And 356 was them Westerns. So, yeah, he old school. Like, he loved them Westerns. And my father's the same way. Every time he comes over my house, all he does is watch Westerns. And I'm like, God bless you. You can have that. So when my father visits, that's when he comes into the living room, nothing but Westerns. And sometimes I may notice certain actors and stuff like that from some of the Westerns, and I'll talk to him about it. But no, you can have that. And Prosper was just as right at home, but we can see that Prosper, definitely feels broken, and Charlie notices that about him. That this man literally had to uproot his life in his 70s. Can you imagine what that will do to a man? That you worked your whole life, and at the end of the day, you realize you ain't got nothing to show for it. That's brutal, and it's sad. So, we also see that we seen that Charlie and Nova are actually talking. Because Nova says she has a friend that works in environmental services, and she was gonna go check that out to find out what's going on. Is there really mercury in the soil as Jacob claimed? And we also see that Charlie was saying that, oh yeah, I want to know about this mystery man that Aunt Vi's been talking about. And we see that damn Nova just kind of, oh, it's nothing, it's just me and my laptop, girl. And I'm like, see, Nova, you already setting yourself up for the bullshit because you're still fucking lying. You don't want to let it be known that the guy that's been pursuing you is Charlie's ex-boyfriend, Remy. And now he's smelling your ass, which really makes me disgusted with Remy's ass, because I don't trust Remy for shit. But, Nova, you wrong, because you need to come out and be real. And I think the next episode she does, so I want to see what's going to happen with that. But what I'm going to tie up her situation. I want to tie up this whole thing between Charlie and Nova. Now, what ends up happening is that Nova's friend gives her some information. She comes back and tells Charlie, look, I'm gonna be real with you. I think this whole EPA shit was some crap, because she finds out about Sam Landry's son, who's a graduate and alumni from Cornell University. But then she also mentions this guy named Thomas, who works very close with him. And guess where Thomas works? He works for the fucking EPA. So they're realizing that they use this as they pretty much use this as bait to keep people off their land, when yet it was a lie. So now the challenge is, how do you prove that they literally lied and swindled, a community, so they can get people to get off their land so they can build this private jail? And it's also looking that Jacob is involved, because it's seen that Jacob lied about that whole EPA situation. So, but then she tells Nova that, look, I don't want you to get involved. I don't want you to get implicated in this, because you have a book to write. So she even still is protecting her sister, even though this damn sister is looks like she's about to go fuck your ex-boyfriend. Just saying. Just calling it like it is. Next, I'm going to talk about Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi, we see that she's at that High Yellow with some of her with some of her former employees. Her former work buddies. And she's pitching them, her idea to have her own pie shop. And they loving it. And then they saying that, man, the place ain't been the same since you left the High Yellow. Clyde done hired 2 damn managers and they both quit. And she's like, I'm not surprised. Yeah, because Clyde is fooling himself, and Clyde's an asshole. He wouldn't even let her use the ovens, he wouldn't even let her use the ovens, for her pies, when yet it was her ideas to help make the High Yellow better. And as a matter of fact, the High Yellow hasn't been the same since Vi's there, because Vi brings a certain essence. She is a woman of the community. She is a person that really likes to interact with the people. And, you know, I think she misses that, and I think that's why she wants a pie shop where she can sell her pies and still connect with the people. So, it's actually not a bad idea. So, we see that she goes to pitch this idea to Mr. Rawlings, and she has an episode. And from what I've learned of Lupus, sometimes these episodes happen, you know, at the spur of the moment. You never know when you're gonna have a moment. And, you know, she's trying to pitch her idea, but all of a sudden she feels very, you know, hot. She's trying to fan herself. And he was like, you know, are you okay, Vi? You know, are you gonna be okay to drive? She says, yeah, I'll be okay to drive. She gets up and she feels so lightheaded that she has to sit back down. So Mr. Rawlings ends up taking her home. And we see that this really upsets her, because she doesn't want to be seen as weak, and she doesn't want to be seen as helpless. So the fact that Rawlings saw this really does upset her. But Rawlings lets her know that, look, you know, he had brought her some chicken noodle soup that his wife made. You know, I need you to get better and everything. But then she finally confesses to him that she has lupus, and, you know, I have my good days and I have my bad days, but I will not let this interfere with our business. And, you know, he's talking about, yeah, the investors are waiting, you know, to, you know, to hear your ideas and all of that, you know, and the investors are ready because, you know, he's ready to get her stuff into even more stores, you know, and to get her really out there. And she wanted to pitch her ideas to him, but he was like, don't worry about that right now. You know, the investors are good. You know, you should be focusing on getting better and focusing on your health. You know, don't worry about that right now. But it's making me kind of question Mr. Rawlings, like, so are you now second guessing things now because now you know she's sick? You know, are you going to start pulling back from her? Or are you really, or are you at this point now where you don't know about how you want to proceed with Vi? And it's kind of making me kind of worried. I'm like, okay, you find out she had an illness, but yet this woman has actually helped you to make money, you know, by doing her pies, and she has literally made every quota, you know, that you've asked her to do. So it's like Rawlings is kind of having like this look of, I don't know now. So we just got to see how that's gonna prevail between the two of them as far as their business partnership. But yeah, Rawlings, you need to still stick behind her because she made you money. And if anything, you should definitely hear about her ideas about that pie shop, because it is a good idea. And I understand why she wants that. You know, she's not just about making the long money. She's about being an integral part of her community, because that's how she was with the High Yellow. I mean, the High Yellow was a bounding place when she was there because she likes interacting with people. So hopefully Rawlings don't let her illness, he doesn't see her illness as a weakness, but actually sees her strength, that she's dealing with it, and yet she's still managing a business despite of having lupus. So we have to see with that. We have to see what's going to go on with that. Now I'm going to talk about one of the big things that happened in this episode, and this is this whole situation between Ralph Angel and Darla. Ralph Angel goes to Darla's new house. He looks throughout the house and everything, and he can tell money's been spent up in this house. But then when he goes into C Blue's room, oh, that really hit Ralph Angel deep, because she decked the whole room out. It looked like something out of a brochure. And she said that Blue helped me decorate it. And she sees that, you know, he sees that Blue's doll is there. So Blue obviously feels like that's a home for him. And we see that this really eats at Ralph Angel, because remember Charlie told him don't let your emotions get involved. But they got involved. Because when he looked at that, he felt some kind of way. So then we see that Darla and Ralph Angel sit down. They're trying to go through this schedule, and everything is going good, you know. And then all of a sudden, we see that Darla starts making her moves. And she's like, I know you got a lot on your plate, so I want to get, you know, can I actually get Blue a little bit more, you know, than just the weekends or whatever. And Ralph Angel totally wasn't with that. He was like, nah, you moving too fast. Let Blue, get accustomed to this, and let him get stable first. This is too soon for him. But really, it's too soon for Ralph Angel as well. But he's pretty much saying that, look, you need to take your time. You just doing too much, and you trying to move too fast. But then Darla was like, well, obviously, you got a lot going on. And then this damn bitch had the nerve to say, oh yes, and she brings up everything. She starts, and that's what them crackheads do, because even though she's got herself together, she still be playing them crackhead games. Because here it is, she talking about some, oh well, you talking about Blue and being stable, but I don't feel that he's very stable where you are right now. I mean, you got a lot going on. You had that man staying there who brought all those guys there, and then you're up here, bringing him around other people, and I don't want, and if anything, I want to approve all the people that you meet before I have them around Blue. I'm like, excuse me, miss? Excuse me? But did we not forget that just a while ago, you was a hot-ass mess out here tricking your ass for heroin and shit? And the fact that Hollywood had to save Blue when you was in the other bed getting dicked down by some guy, and like Blue was literally laying right there next to you? Oh, how quick we forget where we came from now that we done moved on, and now we want to get self-righteous and judge somebody. Because she was really brutal with him. And I was kind of like, oh no, this bitch didn't. Because she was really going for it, like, yes, and I need to approve of everyone that you have around Blue. And he was like, oh, you talking about Trent? And she was like, well, I don't need to know her name. But yeah, I don't want you just bringing everybody around our son and putting our son around like, boo-boo. The only person that's put Blue in danger was your ass. Ralph has always protected Blue. And he has always made Blue a #1 priority. But now you trying to question his parenting skills. And then she gets to the point, she's like, well, I'm just tired of going back and forth about the same thing with you. And then all of a sudden, Ralph Angel's like, what the hell you know about being tired, Darla? Here it is, you got your family giving you money and all of that. And, you got your little job and you smelling yourself. But I've been a single parent the whole time while you were out here trying to find yourself. And then she was like, Ralph, you've never been a single parent. And first of all, what's wrong with my family helping me out? I mean, what about that house you living in? Did you pay for that house? Or did your daddy give it to you? And then got the nerve to get up and say, you can let yourself out. I'm like, Darla, you trifling bitch. This man has been raising that boy from day one, and he's mainly been doing it on his own with the help of his family. So she was kind of right when she said he wasn't a single parent, because he did have help. But he has been the stable parent in this situation, while you have proven to be unstable, you have proven to be manipulative and grimy, and you seem to still be playing these games. Like, you tend to forget, honey. You tend to forget that just not too long ago, you was a struggling drug addict who was tricking, to make ends meet. And then also, you want to talk about that house. Weren't you living up in that house? When you had nowhere to go? Because at the time, your parents weren't fucking with you because you were a hot-ass mess and you put them through some shit, so they kind of backed away from you. Ralph Angel has always been your saving grace in those dark hours. And this is how you repay him? By trying to compete for your son's affection because you went all out and spent all this money? And right now, yeah, Blue is Team Darla because, every child every child wants their mother, and every child is going to be attached to the mother. So she's playing off of this, and she's literally competing with Ralph, saying that I can raise him better than you, and boom, boom, boom. But yeah, boo boo, this man was there for you when no one was there for you. So I was so pissed, and I'm like, You got a nerve to be up here smelling your puss, Darla. Douche and have a nice day. And that's all I'm going to say about her ass, because she really pissed me off. And I was like, girl, you really talking cash shit, but you tend to forget that like about 5 minutes ago, you was out here tricking to get, you was out here tricking for shots. Alright, let's move on. So we see that this definitely does something to Ralph Angel. We see that, you know, he goes to pick up his check from Trin. He's very short with her. He's not disrespectful, but she can definitely tell something's wrong with him. She's trying to make conversation with him, and he's just very short. He just gets his check and he leaves. Then the next time we see him, he's in Blue's room because Blue's at Darla's. Blue's spending time with Darla. He up in the room drinking that hen dog. Just drinking the Hennessy from the bottle. Trust me, I've been there. So yeah, when you drinking that hen dog out the bottle, you really are dealing with a lot. And we see that Nova comes in there and sits down with him. He's like, I don't even want to talk, Nova. And she says, I ain't trying to talk. Pass the damn bottle. So he passes the bottle to her. So they both taking turns drinking the Hennessy. And he pretty much, you know, opens up about what's going on. It's like, you know, this whole thing that, Blue needs Blue, because he's like in the room looking around and he's saying that I can't compete with her. So now he's talking about, I want to try to pick up some more extra shifts at the plant, you know, so I can remodel his room. And then Nova was like, there ain't nothing wrong with this room. This was my room. It's a great room. And she said, but then he's, you know, saying that, yeah, but it's so much, everything in here is hand-me-downs, and I really want to do some great things for Blue. And, you know, without even knowing fully what's going on between him and Darla, Nova picked up on it, that, okay, you done went over there and tried to work things out with Darla. Darla is decked out because, you know, her parents got money. So now you feel like you're not good enough and you feel you got to compete. And Nova, you know, spoke some truth to him. She was like, you're going down the same road that Daddy went down. You're so set in your pride and so trying to be strong that you're about to work yourself into the ground just like him. And she also mentions about their father, you know, wanting to contemplate suicide after their mom died because everything was on him and he couldn't bear it. And she's saying that, look, you don't have to go down the same road as Daddy. You're a lot like our father. You look like him, you act like him. So I'm pretty sure Ernest was a piece of work, and we definitely see that with Ralph Angel. So what we see with Ralph is exactly how Ernest was in more ways than one. But Nova is saying that you do not have to work yourself into the ground. And besides this room, there's nothing wrong with this room. Blue loves you. You know, he don't care about this stuff. He's a kid. You know, he's not caring about all the fancy things like that. So if Darla wants to do that, then let her do that. But you don't have to compete with that. You're better than that. And plus, you're not in this alone. You got me. You got Charlie. You got Aunt Vi. You got Hollywood. You got Prosper. You got everybody around that's going to help you with Blue. So don't ever feel that you're in this alone and that you're by yourself. And I thought that was a very needed conversation for Ralph to have, because Ralph is really trying to be the best man that he can be, but then he needed that reality check that, look, your father had weak moments, and your father nearly got to the point where he was about to kill himself because he had too much on him, and he was so stern on being a strong person that he damn near broke down completely. And she was trying to tell Ralph, no, I don't want you to get to that place where you feel so much is on you that you will work yourself into the ground. You know, she said that, no, you're not in this by yourself. We're all here and we're gonna support you. So then we see that he finally goes, meets up again with Trin. And this time, he's somewhat open with her, and, you know, he lets her know that, he pretty much lets her know that, you know, Vi likes to go to this garden with Blue, and, you know, Blue really loves it, And then she also says that Aunt Vi really likes you. Now, Aunt Vi has always been that motherfucker. Aunt Vi has always been that mother figure for him. So the fact that Aunt Vi is said that she liked Trin, that was letting Trin know that, yeah, I really want to pursue this with you and see where it goes. So we see that they kind of hug up on each other, and it was very beautiful because Ralph needs that in his life. He needs a stable woman, not no treacherous bitch like Darla who's playing all these games. But unfortunately, Darla in some ways has the upper hand because she's the only biological parent of Blue. So if she really wants to get into this whole paternity shit, it's really gonna be a mess. But then again, we just have to keep watching to see what's gonna unfold. But I have a good feeling that this whole thing between Darla and Ralph Angel is definitely gonna go to another level. So we just have to keep watching to see what's gonna happen. But that's what I have, everybody. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Queen Sugar. So until next time, everybody, take care.